caught, we had Fergie on TV, or so we thought. Tony D. King looked easy and loose. Now we've had requests for his hooligan juice. It was back to school, but oh what a pity, with poor cash-strapped parents digging deep in the kitty. The Aussie bicentenary's in a fix as the Abos hit Bobby Hawks, plans for a six. Mainline passenger trains get the chop as SATS suffer 1,000 million loss of the Tri-Sky shake-up, the last we ain't seen. Corruption is over, declares Mr. Clean. Is it true? Just wait and see if Carl and Michael sprint back to VP. Goodwin's ensured a cracking pace, and Bertie Reed wins the Deers Festival race. It's Newlands and Wanderers, it's bat ball and wickets. Why, every time we switch on, it's just cricket, cricket, cricket. And here's Tony.
Welcome to yet another Late Night Live, and I'm really excited because I found out I'm going to be rich. And I tell you, I can't believe it, the excitement when you think you're going to be rich. I've found a way to beat the breathalyzer. Now, all you do is get a cube of OXO, and you take a slick of gin, and you breathe in the breathalyzer, and you've got pure oxygen. All right, what a show it was last week, wasn't it? Yeah, it was such a show that we actually hit the front page of the Daily Mirror in England. There it is, isn't it? Look at that. The fake Fergie, it says. She fools 3 million on TV. Well, not content with that, the Daily Mirror then went to day 2 where they produced a cartoon of this. And on the cartoon it says, "Cripes, Sarah, a chap can get jolly confused with all these lookalikes around." And they're not content with that. On Wednesday they came out with another one. It said, quote the Queen there, "We are not amused." But it wasn't the real Queen. But my first guest tonight is real. From the United States of America, John Barrett. Hey, you guys. Winnie. Ah, there he is. My hero. I mean, what can I say, my hero? Thank you. Look at this place. It's showered with glass and everything. Oh, never mind.
I'm known to do that.
After that performance there, what are you?
A stuntman, basically.
You're basically a stuntman.
Well, I have been for 10 years.
It's a hard life.
It's rough. We just got together and worked this out today, so...
Do you want to have a drink there? Yeah. I think you needed that, didn't you? Mm-hmm. It takes a lot of effort, that.
It's just the excitement of me, of being live.
You do 2 movies at a time once, sometimes as a stuntman.
Not normally. I normally can't do 2. I have to focus on one.
How do you manage it, though, when you have to do 2?
You got to be schizophrenic. You do a comedy and a drama, and you get lost. You have to separate yourself from one, go do the other, and it's incredible.
So why did you initially come out to South Africa?
I came out to do a show with a new heartthrob named Patrick Swayze, and we completed up in Southwest, and then...
all the ladies in the audience.
In which case he played the good guy, and I doubled the bad guy in all the fight scenes. And then from there on in, it was more acting and And now a lot of stunts, still stunts, but more acting.
John, if I don't ask this question, I'm going to get lynched by thousands of women. What's Patrick Swayze like?
Great guy.
Yeah.
He's probably the best athlete I've ever worked with, actor-wise. He's really good.
Seems a very simple kind of guy. He lives on a farm.
Yeah, he has a ranch. It's real nice. Very basic.
How did you come, getting back to John Barrett, into being a stuntman? How did it come about?
I got into it through 17 years ago. I started martial arts with Chuck Norris, and I went up the ladder. I became a red belt, went to work with him at his home. I became his workout partner, obtained the fourth degree black belt 4 or 5 years ago, and I just got into it through the movie. I got into stunts through Chuck, and then from there it was just a stepping stone.
Well, as you get your breath back, I must ask you once again, Chuck Norris is a very fit man.
He's incredible. He works out so much. 4 hours every day, every morning.
And John Barrett, what does he do?
As often as possible.
John Barrett looks like he enjoys life a bit as well.
Things are real good for me now. I'm locked into something right now. It seems like I'm on an upswing. Feels real good.
When a director comes to you and he says, I want a stunt, how do you choreograph a stunt?
Well, basically, you have to stick to the script because they don't like it when you go overboard. That means money. And you have to stick to the script to a point, then you can enhance it. If we send a vehicle over a cliff, which we will be doing on this next film, we're going to send 3 guys in a 4-wheel drive Rover. They're going to be totally in flames, and they're going to drive off. The wheels and everything of the vehicle are going to be in flames. They're going to go off a cliff and into water, and the guys are going to be jumping out.
You know, looking at you explaining that, I think you're a bit crazy.
We have to be. No,
yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Have you got to be a bit insane to be a stuntman?
No. I think you have to be more sane than most people give credit for. People call up and ask to be stunt people, and they say, I'm a bit crazy. I go, well, we don't need that. We basically need people that are just real sensible. One guy told me one time, he said, from a great stuntman, he said, you got to do 2 things before a stunt. You have to get real mean, and then you have to get real sensible, because you have to get yourself so pumped up, and once you do, then you start thinking, what can go wrong? What if this happens? How can I correct it? What if something happens that I didn't expect? And from there, it's just, and then go.
Do you ever design any of the weapons? I mean, if you look at Dogs of War, there was a gun that was specifically designed that fired bullets sort of on a round system. Do you ever design weapons like that for stunts? Yeah,
well, sometimes either special effects or whatever. Special effects sometimes design weapons, and then designers. But on the movie with Patrick Swayze, I actually designed the swords. We needed a futuristic type sword. So we gave Patrick Swayze this beautiful, I should have brought it with me, I didn't do it, this beautiful sword about this long. It's got 2 blades, one long blade in the front and one in the back, and he spins it in his fingers. And the bad guy has his swords literally attached to him, and he spins them with both hands, and he's doing all kinds of, and it's really exciting. It worked out real well. We didn't stick to the traditional sword routine. That's basically what we did.
So you go for all sorts of different things.
It's Hollywood. You can do whatever you want. I use the term Hollywood. Now I think Hollywood's in South Africa. I feel that. So many movies.
Why do you think that?
It's so popular. Producers are pouring in here. They're anticipating something like 200 movies in the next year. Now 50 of them might get started, but that's a pretty good percentage.
That's a lot of movies.
Yeah.
By Hollywood standards, is that a great deal of movies?
No, but for a young, up-and-coming country like South Africa, it's absolutely incredible.
Now, you say young and up-and-coming, and you're a trained stuntman. Is there a school for stuntmen?
Well, there are in Los Angeles, but basically when people when a stuntman gets started, it's basically under some experienced stuntman or stunt coordinator's wing. And he takes him, shows him the ropes, babies him, makes sure he gets into the small stunts, and then from there he keeps progressing.
Now, being as you've got a system like that you work with in the States, the local guys here, there's going to be a lot of demand for stunt guys. And I'm sure a lot of guys would like to get into it.
Yeah.
Is John Barrett going to teach anybody?
Well, I'm a teacher by nature. I had a martial arts school for 10 years, so I love teaching. And even the experienced stunt people have to be taught certain things, myself included. So when we get in there, we find out maybe our most potential stunt person, put him in the situation that's the most trying. And if we have to, we'll put the guys, I should say weaker, the less experienced guys around him, like an explosion, we'll put guys closer to the explosion. But the good guys, we just put them in there and they pad up and they know exactly what to do. They don't waste any time. Pad up, gel up if they have to. And most of the time we get our shots.
I wouldn't dare call you chicken, which is an expression used sometimes.
Oh, no,
but
no.
do you
Go ahead.
ever get a feeling you shouldn't do a stunt?
Well, that's funny because a psychic one time told me I should never do any vehicle stunts on anything less than 4 wheels. And I've stuck to it. I don't do bike gags. Gags is what we call stunts. I don't do anything other than 4-wheel car stunts. That's about it. I might get the wheels off the ground, but that's about it.
You used the gun there, the bang bang bit. How do you get that realistic effect of being blasted to pieces with a shotgun? I mean, you see, whah, and everything goes like that.
We have squibs. They call squibs. They're body charges. They have blood. They have a charge in it. When the stunt man pushes a button, it sets a charge and pops the blood. And that's how we usually get our effects on blood hits. Shotgun, it's a big blast. And sometimes we were going to do it tonight, but then we changed our mind. We were going to have Graham Press was the guy that took the gunshots. We were going to have him literally yanked. They put a cable to his harness in the back, and they literally, on the bang, they yank him, and he goes through whatever.
Well, you a bit worried he was going to end in the street outside.
Well, he's a good stunt man. Yeah, he gives it his all.
Do you ever get hurt, damaged in these things?
Yeah.
How bad?
I hate to get hurt, and I hate people to get hurt. I've been rushed to the hospital a few times, and to wake up on my way, not knowing where I was or whatever. And that was younger then. Now I'm smarter. Now I set myself up better. I expect all stunt people to do that, but you have to know that there are always those little things that happen that you didn't expect. In most cases, if you think everything out, and a good stunt man has to do this, he's got to take the time to cover himself as well. I can set up the stunts as a stunt coordinator. I can make everything safe, but he is the one that has to do it. So there are little things that he has to do in order to go a step or two further than what I've thought out. And those stunt people are very hard to find.
All right, well, we're going to stay with the movie industry because I want to bring on now somebody else who's in your business. He's a man who loves the 50s era. He's also involved in the movie business. He's a director. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm Late Night Live welcome to Bill Levey. Bill, welcome to Late Night Live. A 50s lover.
Yeah.
Why?
The period excites me greatly. It's when everything was wonderful and nothing was bad and everything was fun.
Now, you and John have got a little bit in common in so much as that you both work with Patrick Swayze. But there's a little bit of history with you as far as Patrick is concerned.
I think the history is probably with Patrick with me.
Yes.
I was doing a film in '79 for Columbia Pictures, and it was a roller skating movie, and I was auditioning some people, and I all of a sudden just saw this guy out. It was like we had about 150 people just auditioning for extra parts and skaters and things. I had most of my leads set, and I saw this guy walk onto the rehearsal hall, and I got up and I just walked out the door and I grabbed him and pulled him into the alley, and I said, why don't you do something? I said, let's just try this. I'm going to walk back in, wait 2 minutes, and when you walk back inside, get angry and start yelling at me and saying you didn't want to wait and I'm rude, and just take it to the top. Just go all the way. Let's see what happens. So I went back in and I sat down. Patrick came in, started doing what he does, and he got about, I think I was wearing this hat as a matter of fact, and he knocked it off, and about that time I yelled, cut! And nobody knew what was happening, but every woman in the place dropped her purse. And it took me about 3 weeks to talk Columbia Pictures into using this unknown performer. And I finally won, and that was his first picture. It was called Skate Town, USA.
And then North and South came for him,
right.
And now, of course, Dirty Dancing. What do you think of Dirty Dancing, guys?
I haven't seen it, but I know one thing, that one of the reasons that I was so interested in using Patrick in Skate Town, USA, which was a musical for Columbia, was he had 8 years of Joffre ballet training, and when I asked him if he could roller skate, he said no, but I could learn real quick, and I believed him. It was a roller skating movie, and he worked with my choreographer, and he was sensational.
You were going to say something about Dirty Dancing there?
Yeah, I felt it, personally, nothing else. Personally, I felt it was more for a woman audience. It was more like a soap opera, and I never watched soap operas.
So you didn't like it too much?
No, it was passable for me, but everyone loved it, so I'm a minority here, boy, that's for sure. Everyone I've spoken to.
You've had a very interesting life, and getting back to the 50s, Bill, you were very, very friendly with a man that was like almost a cult hero in the 50s, and still is to some extent today, James Dean.
Yeah, Jimmy was my best friend. I was 12. Jimmy was 24. I didn't know he was an actor. All I knew is that I liked the toys he had. I have a lot of toys at home, cars and things like that, and he had a lot of toys. So I used to wander down to his house every day after school. I spent about a year with him, and I used to ride on his bike, and I used to ride in his Porsche. And he's the only guy on the planet that I can see without having to close my eyes. I mean, his image is so powerful that I think a lot of what he did and a lot of the charisma that he had has an awful lot to do with why I'm doing what I do in the business.
How close were you to James Dean?
Extremely.
What went wrong?
It's hard for me to tell because we were real close, but we didn't talk. I was 12, he was 24. And, I mean, he always had the cigarette dangling. Half of it was an ash. It never fell. The collar was up, shirt in a calypso knot, jeans. And it was the kind of thing where he would send me out to the gate. I lived 3 houses away from him. And people would come over to stop and see him. And I would get to the gate and say, Jimmy doesn't want to see anybody today. And that was Jack Warner, president of Warner Brothers. And I didn't know who I was talking to. I mean, Jack wasn't pleased.
But you certainly know who your best friend is today, because he's also a very famous actor.
Speaking of Richard Dreyfuss?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ricky is a great human being and one of the most amusing and intelligent people I know.
Now, getting away from Richard Dreyfuss onto hobbies now, you have a very strange hobby. It's called marriage.
Hey, what can I say?
He really does. How many times?
I'm on my 3rd now, but I figure you got to just keep trying till you get it right.
Is that a Hollywood phobia, this getting married many times?
It probably isn't conducive to long-term relationships. I don't think I'm now presently married, and I think that I'm doing pretty well because I'm my wife's 5th husband, and she's only my 3rd. So she's doing better than I am.
John?
Myself? I've never been married. But
How do you do that?
I don't know. Came close once, that was about it.
What are you currently working on in South Africa?
I'm directing a movie here called Intruder, which I hope to change the title to Committed, and it's starring Jennifer O'Neill. It's probably the reason I came to South Africa, because I was offered the picture, and when I told them, recommended Jennifer, they liked the idea, and when Jennifer signed on, I said, let's go. And I came here, and you always anticipate different types of people to work with. I've worked with some people that I wouldn't work with twice. I've worked with some people that I only want to work with again. I have a crew of people that I always try to drag onto all my films because they're so much fun to work with, and they're good. But Jennifer is probably the most professional actress I've ever worked with, probably easily the best actress I've ever worked with. Her sense of humor comes through, and she's incredibly intelligent, which is what really counts to me, because you can communicate with her, and she can communicate to me, and if I tell her to do something and she doesn't like it, she'll tell me that doesn't work, and I'll say why, and she'll tell me, and I'll either agree or not agree, and then I'll convince her, or I won't convince her, or she'll convince me, and it's just it's a total marriage of two brains meshing to one and getting the end result, which I think is so far pretty good.
Now, you've talked a lot about American actresses. We've talked a lot about a lot of American movies being made in South Africa. What's going to happen to South African actors and actresses? Because there's a lot of very good ones in this country. Do you intend using them?
Yeah, I'm using them now. I think that...
in major roles?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, at this point, that's a real good question. At this point, I think that the most intelligent answer I can give is we're using South African actors in supporting roles right now, strong supporting roles, and they can't at this point be leads in American movies because American movies are generally financed by box office grosses which are pre-sold, and the pre-sales come from known names. Now, if you think back on a guy that came from Australia, he's now a pre-sale name. His name is Mel Gibson.
Yes.
So there's no reason that can't happen with any actor in South Africa as long as they get the proper exposure. If they get the exposure and that happens, then they can become a household name too and work the same way.
In all fairness, Mel Gibson, although he does come from Australia, grew up in New York. So he was very Americanized at that point. But are a lot of Americans coming to this country because it's difficult to find work in the States?
I think Americans go wherever there is work. I think there's a lot of work here now, so a lot of Americans are coming here to work. Does that answer the question?
It's sort of, but not really. Yeah. Can you find work easily in the States at the moment, John?
I have to be honest, in the States, competition was incredible, and I was trying to make a transition from stunts and fight choreography to acting, and it was impossible. At this time, I think in the States, they're looking for blonde-haired, blue-eyed guys, and I just didn't fit that bill, so I came here, and it seems to...
But you're not only working as a stuntman, you're working as an actor as well, aren't you?
Yes, yeah. I'm doing, actually, dual roles in the same film, actually.
When you want a stuntman, how do you go about it? I mean, what do you work on? Do you allow him to work the stunt out for himself?
I basically tell him what kind of an effect I would want, and then I will work with him, and he'll suggest, and I'll suggest, and we work on camera angles. We usually mesh the minds together. It's a collaborative medium, and if it isn't, then it's not good.
Well, there's 100,000 questions I'd like to ask you, but we're going to be back in a bit. Welcome back to Sharp Late Night Live, and it's competition time again. This time we're going to dial Cape Town, and our caller tonight that we're going to call upon is Lewis Schroeder. He's in Cape Town, so here we go. By the way, I've got to boast about the phone this week, because last week I complained that I couldn't get my fingers in the little holes, and it was a bit of a problem, especially for ladies. So one of the big bosses from the post office was looking in, and he sent me this nice brand new phone. By the way, sir, Sandy, our secretary, along with the other girls, hasn't got a phone. Might as well get the ad in, mightn't I? Hello, is that Lewis?
Yes.
Lewis Schroeder, this is Tony Sanderson at Late Night Live.
Oh, hello, Tony.
Well, tonight we're going to be giving away a Sharp Hi-Fi set. And as you know, the rules of the game are, you've got to answer a couple of questions for us.
Right.
Are you ready?
Right, yes.
First of all, the easy one. Who were last week's guests?
They were Tony the King,
Uh-huh.
Marlon Scott Wilson,
Yes.
Billy Gallagher,
Uh-huh.
and the last one was apparently the Duchess of York.
All right, we'll give you that one. Well done. That's one right. Now comes the difficult one. The Sharp Hi-Fi set. How many bands has it got on the graphic equalizer?
I'll say, 5 bands.
Oh, you're dead right. Okay, well done. You've won the
Unbelievable.
Sharp Hi-Fi set.
Thank you very much. Beautiful. Thank you to the
Smart
audience.
guy. Well, it pays to go into your shop and check the equipment out, doesn't it? Okay, then you stay there and we'll get your name and address off you later, which we've already got here, but we'll make arrangements to get it to you, okay?
Thanks very much.
Okay, Lewis, well done and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
If you'd like to enter the competition, it's Sharp Late Night Live, P.O. Box 8606, Johannesburg 2000. Please put your address and phone number clearly, postcards only. All right, let's take a look at one of our sponsors' products.
Worried you won't get the most out of a microwave oven? With a Sharp Carousel comes free cooking lessons, free phone-in advice, in fact, all the help you need. You get more out of a Sharp Carousel because you get all the help you need.
Nice to have you with us again. And last week we had something special for you. This week, Greg, have you got anything special for us?
Yes, we certainly do. But before that, Tony, who's your friend?
Well, we're working with a skeleton staff at the moment, and I borrowed a few things from him, and I thought you might like to use them, Greg. There we go.
Thank you. Right, well, this is a Roots original song, and to help us sing it tonight, we have Russel Stirling and the all-girl vocal group Shadiii. This is also a very sad occasion because Shadiii were due to play at the La Parisienne restaurant, and that burned down recently, taking all their equipment with it, and of course their plans for the future. But the good news at the moment is that next week they shall be on Late Night Live with their own vocal spot. But before that, let's bounce them bones.
Look at that lady over there, long, long legs and golden hair. Sitting out there, she's all alone, but Geen, I really want to take her home. Sit on down, right beside her, mighty pleased that I invite her. She says, hey baby, what's your name? You look good, wanna play my game. But now her game's not the oldest sort. She wants me to take her part. She says, come on honey, take me home. Come on baby, wanna bounce your bones. 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 And hey now babe, you got me wrong, 'cause I've been around for far too long. I can't fool around with no paying dame. Sorry girl, can't play your game. Her lips just pout now, come on sugar. You know that you want no other. And hey now babe, this is your lucky day, 'cause you don't even have to pay. While this woman defies my blood, maybe she can do me good. So baby, come on and take me home. Come on lady and bounce my bones. 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 Bounce my bones.
Thanks a lot, Greg. Bouncing the bones around, Roots and Shadiii, and we'll be seeing them again next week, as Greg said. But right now, looking in the audience, sitting in the front, is a lady who calls herself the Super Bitch. She gave herself that title, as I said last time. Susie Jordan, come and join us. I love the darling.
Fine, thanks.
Well, Susie, it's a very Americanized show so far because you've just returned from the United States. What have you been up to?
Well, I've been doing all sorts of wheels and deals, as only one does when they're in the States, don't they? I was basically there shooting fashion for the magazine Femme Fatale, whatever you'd like to call it, Tony. You have all sorts of names for it.
I have,
And,
yes. Stop the advertising, Susie.
doing my super bitch tricks over there. And I basically was selling also a very different concept to the American people. Well, I don't know whether it's different, but I was selling my facelift as a package deal to the Americans.
But I can't get over what you did in your magazine. You actually allowed the photographers into a theatre. And I'm not talking about the acting type of theatre. I'm talking about a theatre in a hospital. And you had a facelift. And you allowed them to take pictures of it.
They're all looking at me now, trying to see the scars. Well, I was asleep, darling, you know. So, I mean, I didn't know. The last thing I remember was being rolled on a table and saying, please don't ruin my mouth. I want my mouth. I need my mouth. I've got to talk, you know. So I didn't know anything. I mean, it doesn't hurt. I mean, it's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. Don't you think, Tony? Don't you think it's...
I'm not making any comment on it. I'm perfect.
But you're perfect, yes, darling. I haven't investigated yet.
Yeah, I'm going to come back to that bit, if we can, a bit later on. But you're always in trouble with air hostesses. I mean, you're famous and you were at it again.
I was at it again, yes. I happened to fly courtesy of one of the great American airlines. And I did 9 cities in 9 days. And that was really quite something when you've got all your luggage and fashion accessories and everything. And I had a lot of hand baggage. So I bought a 110-pounder trolley thing that I could get 110 pounds on. So I thought, this is great, because in the States, as you know, you don't have to go down steps. You sort of wheel your trolley, and in the plane you get. So about 2 or 3 trips, this was great, and I trundled up. The first time I got on, the bag was sort of that way, so it sort of scraped everybody's knees as it got past. But I thought, too bad, darling, if you can't move your knees, then you'll have to be scraped. So then I got the gist of it and got this thing on and everything. Anyway, one hostess saw me, and she was obviously fed up because I'd now managed to sort of get over the fact that I could have 110 pounds hand baggage. And she said, what are you doing with that trolley? I said, well, look, you know, I've got to carry all this stuff. She said, why don't you just get it, fold it down, and you put it on the roof. So I said, but it's stuck. It got stuck. I couldn't fold it.
So you started fighting again.
And the plane is packed. It can only be packed. And all the Americans are sort of sitting there reading their newspapers because there's this great drama going on. And I thought, what a cheek. I mean, there I am, a lady in distress, couldn't put the trolley together, and not one gentleman offered to help me, and the air hostess is doing her job. She should have tried. So, I mean, I stood there, you know, doing my big muscle bound.
All right, let's leave the air hostesses alone, because you picked on them enough, I think, tonight and last time. Let's go to a party you went to. You went to a very interesting party while you were in America.
Yes, when I got back to New York, my American correspondent, I was supposed to be having dinner with her, and she phoned and said, at the last minute, you've got to come to this fantastic launch of Donald Trump's book, The Art of the Deal. And I said, oh, well, you know, I thought we were going to have a quiet dinner, and I haven't got a thing to wear. I'd left all my dresses in the studio. I was leaving the next day for London. She said, I've bicycled all up Fifth Avenue to get these tickets. She said, and Madonna's going to be there, and it's the biggest party of the year. So I thought, oh, well, Trump Towers, okay, fine, but what am I going to wear? I was in a leather skirt and a hat, a brown felt trilby. I mean, you can go anywhere in your hat. So, I mean, I thought, well, you know, you can do it, I can do it.
But what happened? Who was there?
Well, it was Estee Lauder, Calvin Klein, Donald Trump, Ivano Trump, Michael Douglas, and Norman Mailer, who I happened to have my photograph with, and he told me his parents were out in South Africa, and just everybody there was a star. I mean, there were 2,000 people at this do, and it was incredible. I mean, there were 50 violinists and a red carpet, and but it's, you know, just around the corner from Tiffany's, and spotlights all over the building, waiting for Madonna. Needless to say, Madonna didn't appear. But anyway, everybody was excited. They'd all queued up for the whole night. So instead of Madonna, they got me.
All right, Susie, it's kind of nice hearing that you had a good time in America. We'll be back. Welcome back to Sharp Late Night Live. Well, my very, very next guest, I want you to give a warm welcome to. I haven't seen him for a long time. He sings, he plays piano, he acts, he tells gags, and he's been married 3 times. Paul Andrews. Hey, what's the facelift?
It hasn't dropped yet.
Haven't seen you since the early days of telly, Paul. What have you been doing with yourself?
No, last time I saw you was at Sun City at the boxing match. Do you remember?
It was
a couple
indeed.
of years ago. That's
yes,
right.
It was. But before we get into boxing, because
Yeah.
I know you're a keen fan,
That's
what
right.
have you been up to?
Well, I've been doing acting. I've been doing a few plays and cabaret. I'm now playing piano at the Tropicana Hotel in Durban. I've been overseas 2 or 3 times, you know, and that's what I've been doing.
So you've been a busy man.
Yeah, yeah.
Now let's go to the boxing, because I know you're keen.
Yeah.
Why boxing?
Well, I just love it.
Did you do a bit in your time?
Oh, yeah, I was in the Navy. I did a bit of boxing. I'll never forget my first fight. I'll never forget my last fight. Same fight.
Was I thought it might have been with one of the wives.
No, I came into the dressing room, you know, into the ring with this dressing gown on and took it off, and the crowd went wild. I'd forgotten to put my shorts on. But
3 wives as well.
yeah, hey Bill, nice.
Yeah.
3 wives, eh? Lovely.
You
Do
should swap stories.
Do you know, 2 of my
We
wives.
have.
Yeah, how not to make a mistake, yeah.
This is an amazing thing. My ex-wife, Bibby, and my present wife, Patty, are sitting in the audience, and they're together. They're good friends. There they are, up there. Look.
Ooh.
See them?
Isn't that a bit risky, Paul?
No.
They sort of talk.
No, I'm looking for my third now.
Do your ex-wives talk to each other?
Only when necessary.
You go and visit them to check up on how your life savings are. Isn't that the way it works in the States? It costs you a lot of money.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Did it cost you a lot, Paul?
No.
But you're a lucky man. Okay, London Palladium, you worked there.
Yes, I did.
Were you a comedian there?
No, I was an impressionist.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And how that came about, I was working in
You
Manchester.
used to take off people?
Yeah.
Who?
Oh, everybody. Yogi Bear. Hey, boo-boo. Yogi Bear. And all that stuff. And I used to do James Stewart and people like that, and Humphrey Bogart.
Can you do a James Stewart?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you an interesting story that happened to me, if I may, about, I was working in Nairobi at the New Stanley Hotel, and it was my 4th trip, and I used to open my act with how different people would say good evening, you know, because everybody, you know, in our business, they all say good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and good night, and whatever. And I said, you know, our Max Bygrave would do it, good evening, welcome to the show. I did all that, you see. And then I did James Strasser, nice to be here, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do, but whatever it is, I hope it'll be appreciated. I did all that, you see. And I did my act.
How was he, Bill? Did he pass the audition?
As who? As James Stewart, absolutely.
And I went to my room afterwards and showered, came down for supper, and the guy said, the maitre d' said, Paul, there's 2 guys down the front would like to talk to you. So I said, yes, certainly. So I went down the front, and this enormous guy stood up. He was about 6 foot, 6'4" or something like that. Grey hair, beard, and he stood up and he says, Paul, I want to thank you very much indeed for the impersonation. It was James Stewart. I couldn't believe it. I was mesmerised. I sat there for an hour with that man.
That'll teach you.
What a lovely guy he is.
But you must have had some fun in your time, because you've been in pantomime as well.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, tell us one of those pantomime stories.
Well, funny enough, I did a pantomime for John Moss at the, it was called Robinson Crusoe, and we put it on at the State Opera House in Pretoria, and I played Dame, without the moustache, and I played Dame, Mrs. Crusoe. And I did, right at the end of each pantomime, they always have like a song sheet, where you come out and sing a song and get the audience participation. And then, of course, you've got a quick change, because you've got the finale, all the walk down, the girls are leg kicking and everything, so then you've got to be there. Now, at the State Opera House, the stage is such a long way from the dressing room, so they put a caravan in the wings for me to change in, and 2 dressers all waiting to get, so I came off stage after the song sheet, straight into the caravan, and the finale costume was a ship's wheel. A huge ship's wheel, a full-size ship's wheel, about this big, with all, the dress made onto that, and right up to the neck. And, of course, they're ripping the other costume off, Velcro and everything, and putting this and that and that. And I said, OK, girls, quick. The girls are doing the leg routine, the kick routine, whatever, and everybody's walking down, taking their bow and everything. I was all ready to go. I couldn't get out the bloody door. They were tipping me upside down, and they were trying. Oh, it was funny. I missed the finale.
But it's not the only funny thing you've been involved in on the stage, because you've been a bit of an actor in your time, and you worked with one of our horrors of theatre, for getting people into trouble on the stage? Rex Garner.
Oh, Rex, he's a great mate of mine, but always cruel. I mean, in this business, when you laugh on stage, you know, and you're not supposed to laugh, that's what they call you dry, you know, you corpse. And at that time I was doing
we've just taken it off.
At that time I was doing a play called Cheaters. Funny enough, Paul Bosman was in it. Weren't you, Paul? Paul Bosman was in the
our
play.
floor manager.
Yes, he was, yes. And Melody O'Brien played my wife. And it was a six-hander show, you see. And now Rex was supposed to be having an affair with my wife. And I had a scene in this play where I had to walk across full front of the stage from prompt side to OP, and Rex is standing there with his arms, and I said to him, "How long have you known my wife?" And he says, "Biblically?" I said, "No, how long?" He says, 6 months. "How long have you known my wife?" I said, 3 days. He says, hardly seems fair, does it? He said, now that was the line in the play. In the dressing room, prior to this particular night I'm talking about, I'd been to see a film called The Elephant Man with John Hurt. And I was doing an impersonation of the Elephant Man for Rex. And I said, I said, "Rex, there was a wonderful scene where John Gielgud was coming in as the doctor to meet John Hurt, you know, a grotesque elephant. And he walks in and he'd been primed to say, John Gielgud was going to say to him, 'Good evening, John, how are you?' And he's supposed to reply, 'Lovely to meet you.' So, of course, I said, he walks into the door and he says, 'Hello, John, pleased to meet you.' And John, the Elephant Man, went, 'I'm pleased to meet you. Nice to meet you.' So Rex says, 'Really, was it?' I said, 'Oh, it was a lovely scene.' On stage that night, I walked across stage and I says, 'How long have you known my wife?' He said, I went. I couldn't. The tears welled up in my... I'm all right, Paul. The tears welled up in my eyes. I had to leave the stage, and Melody O'Brien sitting there. She's gone. Paul's gone. Everybody... And the audience are waiting for us to get on with the bloody play, you see. I'm in the wings trying... Come back. Got back again. And he says, "Where have you been?" I said,
Hey, do you ever get that happen with you, Bill, when you're making a movie as a director sitting up there and you've got a clown on the set? I'm always getting into trouble with my producer upstairs for clowning around.
Yeah, I love it. I usually print those takes.
Do you? Keep them as outtakes?
Definitely. Well, you know, making movies are supposed to be fun, and sometimes when those things happen, if you don't print them, it's like, why do that? Everybody enjoys them in dailies, and it's a lot of fun. Okay. We're all human.
John, have you ever had anything like that? I mean, have you ever had a real funny one where you just couldn't do the stunt? I mean, you just died.
Well, as a stuntman, hopefully you don't break down like that. You let the leading guy do that. And you take all the claps and laughter. But it was great because we worked with a director a long time ago that actually always had a camera rolling behind cameras and between takes and so on. And at the very end, when we'd go in to see the premiere of the movie, the opening, they would show us the gag reel. It was all edited. It was beautiful. It's really nice.
What's the funniest one you've ever seen? I love humor.
There's so many funny things that take place, especially when an actor's supposed to be doing a real serious fight scene, and all of a sudden he does something incredible. One time, Chuck Norris was doing this great scene with David Carradine, and he was supposed to get up. He was driving this big bulldozer, and he's going to get up real macho and get down and meet his enemy. So David gets out of his vehicle, and Chuck stands up, and the ceiling of it was a metal roof on the bulldozer, and he goes, bong! And you could hear, it was so great. Everyone it was incredible.
I tell you, one of the funniest that I ever saw was with a love scene in a cowboy movie, and he was standing there and he was telling her how much he loved her and how much he was going to miss her, and the horse made a rude noise behind. It just killed the love scene. Okay, time for us to move on now, and I'd like you to give the warmest welcome of all to my last guest, Giselle Burningham.
Oh, yes, I pretending that I'm doing well. I thought but to mine.
Before we do anything else, I've got to congratulate you on your performance. I think it really was superb. You all agree it was superb, wasn't it? How do you feel about the newspapers? Because, as we said, we hit the front page of the Daily Mirror in England, and the not amused bit.
Yes, I got rather scraped, didn't I?
Yes.
Yes. You've become world famous yet again. England's reaction was, I should not have been introduced as the Duchess of York.
Uh-huh.
And I wasn't introduced as the Duchess of York. You did. You really put me into trouble in England, you know.
Sorry about that. What's it like to be a lookalike? What kind of problems do you get involved in?
Oh, gosh. Well, you've got to be careful not to tread on people's toes, like this time. I can't describe that question. Be more specific.
Well, do you have the same problems that the real Fergie has?
Oh, God, yes. Well, from what I understand, she has, yes. I mean, you have hassles with people always recognising you in the street.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had a real hassles. No, I don't mean hassles in a nasty way. I'm on holiday here. Well, it's now turned into a working holiday. And I've had people in South Africa who see me on television and in the newspapers and going, "You're the Duchess of York, aren't you? You're the real one." And they won't take no.
I know. They said that you only did that in the newspapers to cover up, didn't you?
Yeah, I've had that reaction too. Some people just won't take no.
But where does Fergie end and Giselle Burningham start?
I don't know. I mean, it's me you see on television. And that's what you've got to remember. It's still me. There's no acting involved. I'm not an actress.
Have you never had any acting career of any sort or any studying?
No, it's me.
You just do what you do?
Yes.
How close do you study Fergie, though?
I'm a royal fan, full stop. I mean, I actually slept in Green Park in London for Diana's wedding and ran down the Mall and saw the kiss and all the rest of it. I keep an eye on the royals. I keep an eye on Sarah to a point, but I don't copy what she does. Well, certain things. I'm sitting a little bit more elegantly today than last time.
Now, I got picked on for that. They said that gave it away.
Rubbish, that's how she does sit.
And the other thing they picked on me was you were doing this all the time, and they said, no, Fergie would never do that.
Yes, she does. I mean, this little ring that you keep on your finger, it's 3 rings in one. It's pretty traditional in England. It's a love token. And you can't help but fiddle with it if you're nervous. And she does too. Fiddle away.
So you fiddle with your love token?
Yeah.
Have you ever met Fergie?
No, not allowed. Protocol not done.
And you never get a chance, does it?
I will never have the chance.
Now, all this speculation, and I touched on it last week with you, what happens when Fergie gets pregnant?
I'll make a fortune.
How will you make a fortune?
Well, I'll give an example. I'm on holiday over here, and because of your show and being invited on here, I have now made a new member of a royal family over here. Do you know King Percy?
Ah, yes, but that isn't until the advertising stint.
No, seriously, this is how it works. People then say, you tie up the lookalike business with the royalty.
So you score as a result of looking alike.
If she gets pregnant, what happens when she gets pregnant? You've got all the photographs of when she's a mother in maternity clothes. Women, when they're pregnant, not being rude to women, don't photograph well in maternity clothes. So I won't be putting any padding on, but I'll be doing the photographs.
Now, some people said you're thinner or you're chubbier. Are you or aren't you?
Well, I'm very pleased in South Africa to say I've lost 3 kilos since I've been here, so I'm delighted.
Are you the same weight, the same size as Fergie, or are you...
We're the same weight, but I am finer in features. She's very... she's sturdier in the face and the arms.
Giselle, what's going to happen when you return to the UK?
I don't think I can.
We'd have to keep her, wouldn't we? Yes.
Does anybody want me?
I'm a lookalike, you know, Tony. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Honestly, I was on the beach the other day in Durban. I heard 2 girls say, God, isn't he like Clint Eastwood?
Can I treat you to a new pair of glasses?
It's a thick.
Giselle, can the palace stop you doing this?
From what I understand, when things have gone into the press in mainly Germany that have been anti-royals or over the top, the royals have actually stopped the press from rolling. They've got an awful lot of power. I don't know if they can stop me, but I'm pretty sure if I overstep the line too much, and I've been close this time. Yeah.
Now, Fergie comes from a background. You come from a background. What's the difference between the two of you?
She's a commoner like me. No, I don't mean that in a funny sense. That is the word you use in England. She is a normal girl. Exactly the same background as me.
What is that?
Comfortable, well-educated, finished off, that kind of thing.
How long is it going to last? I mean, will you ever be able to stop being Fergie's lookalike?
Am I acting as Fergie now?
No.
Good. This is the first time I've been interviewed as me, so I'm quite nervous, actually. It can go on for as long as I like, or the press likes. The Queen lookalike has been doing for 15 years. That's a long time.
It is a long time as well. She said she wasn't amused, but do you mix in the same circles as Fergie?
Yes.
Do you go to all the
Yes.
Larney places?
Yes.
Really?
It gets very interesting sometimes.
It must do, yeah. What happens if she's there and you go in?
If I actually ring the palace or check the papers that we have a magazine in England called Harper's and Queen where the social engagements are listed. And I have to make darn sure that I don't go when she's there.
Ah, but now hang on. They get a bit naughty sometimes and they sneak out and do things which they've been reprimanded for.
Yes.
Now what happens if you turn up somewhere that she shouldn't be?
I would discreetly leave.
Would you?
Because I wouldn't want to embarrass her.
Have you had any form of plastic surgery like Susie here to be a lookalike?
Well, she can change her look. She can be Joan Collins next weekend.
Nasty.
That's a super bitch comment.
Yeah.
All right, we haven't had two women fighting on the programme yet. I mean, it'd be interesting.
No, my looks are genuine.
Can you choreograph the fight for us, John?
No, I wouldn't stoop to
Have you had any form of plastic surgery at all?
No.
You slapped my head off for that one.
No, genuine.
How do you then become the official lookalike? I mean, surely there are other girls in the world that look like Fergie.
It's not just looks, it's personality. You've got to be able to walk into a room of, say, 1,000 people and at a banquet or at a ball and give a speech and talk to people.
But Giselle, who actually says Giselle Burningham is the official lookalike? Who makes that decision?
The press. The British press.
It's the public and the press that make that decision.
The public and the press.
And the ring and everything that you've got there. Now, is that the genuine ring?
That's my engagement ring.
Yeah. But now the other one, the famous one.
That is a present. I get practically everything given to you in England free.
Is that
and
the
that's
real
real,
thing?
But it's a copy.
It's real, but it's a copy.
Real, but it's a copy.
So that's worth a lot of money.
Yes. No, you can't have it.
Now, well, you know I collect things. It means you get everything for free. Does that mean your clothes and
yes,
all those
I
kind of
get
things?
all my clothes. I'm really lucky. I get the clothes 6 months before they even go into the street from the designers. So it sometimes works out really odd. I'll choose clothes I like. And there's been many occasions when Sarah has gone out and I have been in practically an identical outfit, same hairstyle by fluke and everything.
Now that dress you wore last week is exactly the same as one she wears, virtually.
That was another fluke. We've got similar tastes. I mean, we've got similar looks, similar personalities, so you're going to choose similar clothes.
Now the British press would say that's similar bad taste, wouldn't they?
Yeah. It bugs me actually that because if you knock Sarah, indirectly I feel as though you're knocking me. There's nothing wrong with my clothes then.
What kind of security arrangements do you have to have? Because you obviously stand the same risk if somebody really thinks you're the real thing.
I've had 2 attacks on my life so far.
Have you really?
You see, the thing is, I'm no longer just known as the double for Fergie. I'm actually now known by my own name. So what's the best way of getting publicity if you want to get on TV for making yourself known is attack me. It's quite a simple thing to do.
So
you get publicity.
You are high risk.
Oh,
do,
yeah.
do you have security?
Oh, yeah.
So all that little thing that we had last week was genuine?
That was genuine. I do not, when I'm in London, go on the tubes, I do not go on the trains. I have to get cabs everywhere, which costs you a fortune. All right? No, you have someone with you.
Yeah. What's happened to you after you appeared on Late Night Live last week?
Well, apart from all the press which was pre-done, I mean, Sunday's papers announced that I was not the real thing. Then I got phone calls. I went to Louis Tricard into the bush to go and see South Africa. And don't laugh. It's genuine. I've come to see darkest Africa. And we stayed in this little motel. And this poor manager didn't know what the heck had hit him. Because there were phone calls from England, from the newspapers there. One of the correspondents that's from the newspapers in England is in Johannesburg. He drove for 6 hours up to Louis Tricard to interview me there. All hell broke loose.
I have a feeling it's going to go on and on a little bit more. We'll keep in touch and we'll let our viewers know what's happening on Late Night Live. Let's go and start with you, John. What's in the future for you?
More movies.
Lots more.
Anticipate that. Change of direction, field-wise.
And Bill Levey, it's lovely to have American directors of your stature in the country. What's Bill Levey going to do? Is he going to come back again?
I'm going to take this picture back to Los Angeles and edit it, and then I'm planning to come back here in June to do a picture in Mauritius.
And Susie Jordan, how many more facelifts?
None for the moment, darling. I might start on the rest of my body.
Yes, right. So, Paul Andrews, what's in store for you?
Sorry about that. Well, at the moment, as I told you, I'm playing piano in Durban, and it's an ongoing thing, and I'd like to get back into theatre after that and do more plays.
Not movies.
Not with Rex, though.
Not with Rex, definitely not. Okay.
I'm only kidding. Lovely guy.
I'm doing peace negotiations with the British press.
And on that peaceful note, we'll end on another note, this time with Paul Andrews. You can entertain us as we say good night and God bless. Paul?
How do you do? It's good to see ya. How do you do? I'm glad I'm here. Of all the places that I've been to, I like the way things are right here. How do you do? Do you remember when we were kids, those good old days? With chalk we used to scrawl names up on a wall. What happened to the friends of mine? I'm longing to see them all. Give me my pipe, give me my slippers, go tell the gang I'm here to stay. I'll be at home tonight, shaking hands until it's light, saying how do you do to you and you, a big how do you do to you. How do you do? It's good to see you. How do you do? I'm glad I'm here. Of all the countries that I've been to, I like the way things are right here. How do you do? Do you remember when we were kids, those good old days? Oh, with chalk we used to scrawl names up on a wall. What happened to the friends of ours? I'm longing to see them all. Give me my mic, give me the music, go tell the gang I'm here to stay. I'll be at home tonight, shaking hands until it's light, saying how do you do